the valley where the girls get naked. If they throwing bands, then you know she gon' shake it. 1, 2, break 'em. 3, 2, break 'em. These niggas grind hard, but these bitches grind harder. I'm gonna learn the whole song one day and I'ma just bust on y'all ass, maybe for the finale. What's up? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for P-Valley Season 2, Episode 5. Yes, I know it's late, but better late than never is what they say. Child, you know, every now and then we do it a little too big, and Sunday night, child, I had to Sunday was an unexpected good ass time. So yesterday, 4th of July, I hope you guys all had a great 4th of July, but I could not get on no camera yesterday. I needed to recover. Y'all know a bitch is old. She don't just bounce back like she used to. So I needed a day yesterday. I didn't feel like putting no wig on. I didn't feel like putting no clothes on. And I was just like, I am not doing a video. So I did try to get this done earlier. I'm sorry that it's coming later on Tuesday, but work has been a bitch. Work is busy, y'all. Gotta make these coins. Anyway, you guys, the show is just interesting. I'm still enjoying the show, so I'm not complaining, okay? But I feel like, I told you guys before that I feel like I watch a different show every week. And it almost feels like they have they're trying out these different writing styles or maybe producing style. I don't know much about this, but it almost feels like they have a different director every week, like somebody else's vision, because every show just, you know what I'm saying? It's just different. That's not to say that it's bad. It's just, I don't know. I got to get used to this. Hold on. Blue is at the door and I got the storm door open and he jumping around like a crazy dog. And I don't know if he's going to try to open the door and somebody walking down the street in 1 minute. All right, you guys, sorry about that. I had to go close the front door because he was about to knock my storm door down trying to get outside. So, but yeah, so anyway, yeah, the show just feels different. And I'm trying to figure out, maybe they're trying to figure out it almost kind of reminds you of Claws, like that same very eccentric way. And, well, we know how it ended up for Claws. I actually didn't even watch the last season. Some people told me it was actually pretty good, but I don't know. We'll just see where it's going. We'll see where it's going. But we never really had a focused episode like this, and this one was on Mississippi. And it was cool. It was cool, you guys. But yeah, I'm just still trying to get my footing. It always feels like it's not sure-footed, you know. But anyway, well, let's get through the review. And you guys let me know if you know what I'm talking about. Let me know what exactly is your take on this. Every new week it's a new something, new style or something, a new cut, a new color. Anyway, let's get to it, shall we? All right, so the show opens, they're in Atlanta, okay? And they're at the Legends Ball. That's right, we have Uncle Clifford, who is narrating this whole show, who actually did give a nice little narration to it. I actually enjoyed him as the narrator. But no Uncle Clifford, nobody this week but Mississippi, okay? Anyway, it's the Legends Ball, and they're gonna pay homage to Miami Tip, Jessica Dime, Gigi McGuire. I don't even know who that is, you guys. And of course the top of the top, you guys, the creme de la creme, the mwah of strippers, you guys. That's right. The fairy godmother is in the building, and the fairy godmother is there to bless the likes of a Keyshawn Harris, who is next up. Things is going well. Her manager Rome has got her maybe about to solidify a wig deal for her, and she is excited. This is like the 3rd or 4th deal that he's gotten her, so he's been working hard for Miss Mississippi, right? My bank account about to be litty. Ooh, her voice. The stripper voice, it kills me. Anyway, Rome suggests to her that she wears this blonde wig, and you know, she's looking at that, and one of the things that we've known about Mississippi is that she still holds herself to a certain standard. She doesn't necessarily feel the way that she doesn't feel like she's just a lowly stripper. You know, they've always talked about her being bougie, and they've always talked about her, you know, kind of, and she's been treated that way because she was one of the top strippers at the Pink. So, you know, the fact that he wants her to wear this blonde wig, and that's never been her aesthetic, and it's just sort of like she's looking at it like, ugh, like, no. But, you know, he was just like, go on and put this on. The ghetto-ass blonde wig. And then he tells her, you know, that they about to do another 2 weeks on this, open up another leg and do 2 more weeks on this tour. And she was like, no, I got to get home. And he was like, no, what you gonna do? Okay, nigga changed up his tune. All right, all this time has been all whatever Mississippi want, but now all of a sudden he getting too big for his britches, I guess. And know what you gonna do is make this money so you ain't never got to go home again. Well, that does sound better to her, you know. She trying to figure out what she gonna do with Derek. So yeah, I guess let's get to this money. I mean, the money is good, but she got babies at home. But she go on and do what she got to do. Put the stupid ass wig on, you know. And I felt sorry for Mississippi because it seems like for quite some time in her life, she's had to been doing whatever other niggas tell her to do. And ain't never been able to make the decisions for herself. Now, Murder and Teeks, they are at odds. Murder mad that he didn't get to perform at the damn club that night. Like, why Wody didn't put him on? But you know what? This night is all about Mississippi. That's what the old pimping ass manager Rome tells him. He just over there rolling a blunt and just irritated, okay? And then all of a sudden he look up like, what the fuck is this? Okay, remember I told you the fairy godmother. That damn Jocelyn came down from the ceiling, y'all. What's up, everybody? This is Jocelyn, the Puerto Rican princess. Welcome to the motherfucking Legends Ball. Shout out to all the badass bitches out there that threw their motherfucking pussy around the pole. Okay. I said, look at Jocelyn. They done gave her a script and everything. Because I was like, do Jocelyn even like Miami Tip or Jessica Dime? I'm sure that was a big ass pill for her to swallow. You know, Jocelyn don't really like nobody. Jocelyn like her man and her baby. They all on the show as well. I was like, wow, look at their faces. Jessica Dime looked different. Or maybe that was the Gigi girl, because I don't really know who the Gigi was, but I was looking, I was like, I don't recognize these women. Anyway, Jocelyn gets up there and does, do it like it might be day. Do it like it's my day, baby. Do it like it's my day. She just kind of going around the pole. I mean, you know, she can twerk and shit, but Jocelyn don't know no pole action. As a matter of fact, Jocelyn says, you know, these girls today, they doing things that we never motherfucking dreamed of. Okay, we didn't even know we could do this shit that these young girls doing. So today we're giving you your flowers. All right, so hey, take that. So they introduce Mississippi. She comes out in her blonde wig and she works the hell out of that pole. I tell you, I be mesmerized every time I see it. And like Uncle Clifford said in the narration, she is a sight to behold. Okay, she is a fucking legend, a legend in her own time. But legends are not made, they are built. Okay, and if we need to know where Mississippi is going, we need to know where she came from. Okay, get a little background on Mississippi. Excuse me, Keyshawn Harris. So we gonna rewind it on back. I said, look at him giving us a little Shonda rhymes on all this back and forth shit. I'm gonna try to kind of keep shit grouped together that makes a little bit more sense and make it easier for me to do the review. But we gonna be hopping back and forth, you guys. So that's the way the show was happening. Okay, but anyway, let's take it on back. I'm not really sure how old Mississippi is supposed to be now, but we take it back to when she's in high school, Chucalissa High, trying out for the cheer team. Okay, ain't quite got the skills to be on the cheer team, but Derek was one of the lift guys. Okay, and that is how those two met. It was clear that he had a little interest in her and he was a little protective of her because, of course, I mean, I was a cheerleader back in the day. It's very competitive and there's a lot of shit that's going on, you know. And, you know, the girls, actually, Gidget is one of the cheer coaches, I think, or not the coach, but she's like one of the captains probably, looking at the tryouts or whatever. So obviously that's where Gidget and Mississippi met. But Mississippi also has a stepsister there who's also trying out, and you know, it's just sort of like you immediately know, like I just told you, competitive and all of that shit, that maybe there's something going on. Maybe there's some sort of bad blood between her and her stepsister. You know, Keyshawn don't do all that well in the tryouts, but that's okay, you know, because Derek, you know, he come over to her and, you know, he's nice to her and talking to her. Actually, he comes to her rescue because there's one of the football players who's just your typical asshole jock, you know, trying to talk to her, but, you know, being down and downing her as well, talking about her being dark and all of this shit. All right, and then we get the white savior, the white knight. That's the name of this episode, actually. The white knight comes over and kind of saves her from the ignorance of the stupid ass football player, Anyway, the football player tries it with Derek, like, who are you? Get your ass on, these kind of antics. And then the black man spits in the white man's face. I was like, I don't give a fuck what color you are. What we not doing is the spitting in the face, which is probably one of the most disgusting and fucking degrading things that you can do to somebody. That means you have absolutely no respect for that person in my book. And honey, the light clicked off on Derek. And he ended up beating that damn football player's ass. Beats his ass so bad that he ends up getting suspended from school, when Keyshawn sees him later. They got in trouble, right? But like I said, you can tell there's some sparks between, well, not necessarily sparks, but Derek is obviously interested in Keyshawn. Keyshawn ain't really sure what this is just yet, but she's just a little bit, maybe a tad bit intrigued. Now, remember that she is a stepchild, okay? Actually, this whole storyline about Keyshawn is like a Cinderella story, except it ain't quite got better. Like, she ain't found her prince yet, okay? We see when she met old boy Derek, and it might have been a fairy tale back then, but we ain't got to the fucking pumpkin in the middle of the night in the glass slippers, and we ain't got to that just yet in her today life. But let's rewind it back to when she's a stepchild. Her father obviously has remarried this woman, but the father travels for work. The woman has 2 daughters. And one of the daughters is the one that we saw trying out for the cheerleading team. The one that supposedly Keyshawn has the competition with, somewhat, sorta, and another daughter. And then we've got the typical mean-ass stepmama, okay, who just glorifies her children and don't give a fuck about Keyshawn, okay? Got Keyshawn there doing the girl's hair. So stepmama a bitch, the daughters is a bitch, Mississippi is there, not really having a choice. I mean, this is her dad's new wife. While she's doing the hair, she burns out a lock of the girl's hair. And she was just like, I should have known not to let you do her hair. And, what is she supposed to do? And I was just like, now I've seen this actress plenty of times. I don't know why I was getting the Tyler Perry vibes out of her this time around, but I was just like, okay, okay, sis. She's all, wait till your father gets home. Anyway, one of the daughters is the baddest light-skinned bitch in Chucalissa. Let Uncle Clifford tell it, okay? We see her at school. She has her cheerleading uniform on. Everybody is kind of looking at her. She's a good-looking girl or whatever. Everybody looked like they was 25. I was just like, nobody looked like that in high school. But I mean, I guess you got to do what you got to do, okay? These are the people you got to work with. When she sits down and they're all talking, Gidget is clear that Gidget don't hang with the white girls because she don't really see it for them. And she lives in a trailer park, so she kind of hangs with Keyshawn and Keyshawn's stepsisters or whatever. Anyway, Chucalissa High, is getting to be more black. And so the black people are running the white folks off. Let one of the sisters tell it, okay? So now the white folks have their own separate dance, their own shit. And Chucalissa High, since all of these Negroes is around, they separating things out. So that's to give you a little temperature of how hot or cold the city is right now. We see that the stepsisters have like some sort of something with each other, because one of them tells us that the other one on the walls in the bathroom, it says that she gives the best head, and of course Keyshawn is just looking like, okay. I mean, she's like, look, they fight so damn much with each other that she ain't even got to worry about them fooling with her. One day we see Keyshawn walking home from school. It starts raining, and then who should pull up but her white knight in his car. Hey, come on, I'll give you a ride. I'll give you a ride home. What if I don't want to go home? He looking like, you ain't gotta go home, bitch. He take her to a diner, and they sitting there, they getting to know each other more. And then who shall we see but Pastor Woodbine? She just Patrice today, okay, in her Alice uniform. I said, look at old Patrice Woodbine before she got, saved, sanctified, and full of the Lord. She just was working as a waitress there. When she sees Keyshawn and Derek there, Patrice was like, I hope he paying for this, okay, because he can afford it. Okay, let him pay for this date. And so Keyshawn looked at him and she was like, this is not a date, okay? She was like, or is it? Like, are we on a date? You know? And Derek was like, no, this ain't no date. I wouldn't take you here. You know, if we went on a date, I'd take you downtown, maybe take you on a riverboat dinner. Like, no, this is not how I do, girl. Tells her it sucks that, you know, she didn't make it as a cheerleader. And she's like, I know, you don't even get to look up my skirt anymore, you know? So I was just like, oh, is that an opening? Anyway, you guys, back at the house. So Keyshawn is there with her family, minus her father. And they're decorating because it's Christmas time. This great big beautiful home or whatever. And one of the stepdaughters asked the mom, like, how did she end up with Keyshawn's father? And, you know, she romanticizes it. Oh, it was so nice. You know, he was on her plane basically. And she served him his drinks or whatever. Keyshawn was just like, you left out the part where you served his wife too. Okay. So apparently, old girl snuck in on the wife, which I'm assuming is Keyshawn's mama, and stole Keyshawn daddy. And you know the stepmama ain't playing this shit. Don't fuck up her fantasy that she trying to tell her kids anyway. So, you know, Keyshawn was just like, don't be trying to sell this shit as a fairy tale. You are a home wrecker turned housewife. And the mama was just like, that's it, go to your room. And she throws the food on Keyshawn. It gets all over her face. Honey, Keyshawn pick up some sort of like vase or some shit. She throw that shit back at the mama. Like, bitch, you don't know me. I might look bougie and everything, but don't let the smooth taste fool you. Okay, I'm from even one of a smaller town than Chucalissa, bitch. So anyway, she go back to her room and, you know, she just sitting there and she's almost crying. She's upset. And she just wants to get the hell up out of there. So we building up the story of why she chose some of the things in her future that she will be choosing. Now, let's jump back to the present. Keyshawn is excited. Remember, it's the Legends Ball, you know, she's over there and she's talking to Gigi and Dime in Miami, I guess. And then up walks Jocelyn. Okay, Jocelyn got the guns that shoot out the dollar bills or whatever. And Keyshawn was like, oh shit, like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to bow? Bitch, if you want to, but make sure you pick up those $100 when you down there. I ain't did Jocelyn in so long. Woo, an unexpected treat. So, you know, Jocelyn, you know, she wouldn't be a real bitch if she didn't keep it 100 with Keyshawn. You remind me of me once upon a time. You gonna make it out of here because your stomach is growling. I said growling. And Mississippi was like, it is? And she was like, bitch, it's a metaphor. And I said, now since when did Jocelyn know it was a fucking metaphor? Like Dustin always say on the Friend Zone, the choreography. You know, she'll fuck a word up in a minute. But she got that out, you know. When she snapped at Mississippi, I guess that was it clicking in her mind. Like, okay, let me listen to the legend. Come here, let me tell you something. To them, you always gonna be a hoe. They're not gonna let you forget it. But that's okay, let them think that. Because what did our girl Cardi B say? A hoe is never cold. And I was like, well, that's some hood logic stripper tales for you, right, bitch? Keep that and lock that in the fucking memory bank. So Jocelyn give her card and she was like, you want me to come by and dance for you later in your suite or something? She was like, no, girl, just come on by, you know, so I can spit some more of the game to you a little bit. So Jocelyn ain't even on that, girl. Just come on through. One legend to a new one. Now let's jump it on back again. It is the Christmas ball for the Chucalissa High School and both of the sisters have dates. And Keyshawn is sitting there eating a bowl of cereal. Got on sweats, clear she's not going anywhere. Okay, the parents are so wrapped up in the damn stepsisters, you know, what they doing, that nobody seems to care that Keyshawn is not going. I was just like, what kind of fucking household and what's wrong with the daddy? But then we see that the daddy kisses one of the girls and I was like, oh Lord, is the dad fucking with the girl? The pretty one, you know, they all are cute girls, but you know, the one that they were saying was, you know, the baddest bitch or whatever in Chucalissa High. But he kisses her and she kind of looks all kind of like, ugh. And I was just like, it's always one pervert, right? So anyway, while they're taking the pictures, there's a doorbell ring and the stepmama go to the doorbell and it's Derek. He's got clothes for Mississippi to wear and he's taking her to the ball. Okay, so she get all gussied up in her blue dress and her blue fur and put her hair up and all of that, and they go to the dance. All right, they're the look of the night. Everybody is looking up at them when they coming down the stairs, like, what is this? Oh, he with her, oh, you know. But they don't even pay attention. They just only have eyes for each other. They dancing. Okay, at one point they want to kiss, and then this white woman comes by and she just kind of looks at him like, like the chaperone. Okay. Well, we find out that actually was Derek's mama. When Derek and Keyshawn is leaving and she mentions how that woman came over there and was stopping them, you know, he was like, well, that's my mama. You know, she's all bark, no bite. Okay. And then what about your daddy? Well, my daddy is a bite. You're going to wish for that bark when you deal with the daddy. Okay. So there, right there, you know that both of his parents have been abusive, probably verbally and physically. So Derek comes from some bullshit. That's the reason why he's the way that he is, which is usually how it happens. But it's the end of the night and things are beautiful. No, he doesn't turn into a pumpkin and all, but you know what? In her glass slippers that she has on, she twirls around in the snow as it unexpectedly comes down. You know, Derek is like, Keyshawn, get in the car. We got to go. You know, your curfew, your dad gonna kill me. She was just like, how often does this snow in Mississippi? No, we enjoying this. And then with all of the magic of the night, magic in the air, okay, fresh new budding love between two people, Mississippi gives her, I'm sorry, I keep wanting to call her Mississippi, but she's Keyshawn back in the day. Keyshawn gives herself to Derek in the back of the car as they're on their way home from the prom. I'm sorry, from the Christmas ball. So she gets home. It's after hours, after her curfew time. She's sneaking in, okay, trying to go up the stairs, and the stepmama's sitting over on the couch, you know, just like lighting her damn cigarette. And she look over at her, you know, Keyshawn is like, I'm sorry, I know it's past curfew. And she was like, girl, you got home before them damn other girls did, so you doing good. All right, they ain't even here. All right, who else is not there? Your daddy. I won't even tell your daddy what you did, because this nigga out there, Lord knows what he doing. That's why the mama's sitting there on that couch all upset. Okay, so she looked over at Keyshawn and she was just like, yeah, you look really pretty in your dress, okay, that he bought for you. All right, she's like, be careful being another man's Barbie doll. The problem with that is they can always choose another one. Uncle Clifford tells us as he narrates that Keyshawn heard her stepmother loud and clear, but do she listen is the thing. Absolutely not. Because who listens to their own stepmama? Now, back to the present. It's been a big ass night at the Legends Ball. They all in this nice big ass suite. It's money everywhere. That Mississippi and Teak and Murder, you know, and Wody, they celebrating, you know, shooting the money everywhere. You know, she even plays that old god awful death game, you know, where she dies in the money, you know, and all of that. But she's just loving all of this cash. All right, it's a good ass time. Everybody's in a good mood. So she gets up and she tells Teak, you know, Teak, come over here and get you some of these chocolate covered strawberries. You know you want them. And he was like, no, I'm straight. Now, we don't see Teak laughing. We don't see Teak smiling. This was like one of those times when I was just like, look at Teak. I mean, good looking man and everything. If he wasn't so pissed off all the fucking time. Okay, but that shit is short lived because Murder was like, nigga, you know you want some strawberries. He said, I said I fucking don't want them. I was like... Not the lovers quarrel. That damn Mississippi walk over to the table and then she kind of look at Wody, catch his eye, and she kind of got this tilt like, are these niggas fucking? And Wody kind of shake his head like, yeah, I think these niggas are fucking. I started cracking up. I was like, boy. That shit was funny to me. Thank God Rome wasn't in there when all this was going on, but he comes in right after Teak walk out the room because he's fed up with that murder with his old cheating ass. Who the fuck is Clifford? I was cracking up when Keyshawn was like, Teak, you all right? You know, you gonna be okay? And Wody was like, he need a bitch. And Murder looked over at him. I said, look at that male ego, child. You can't get away from it. He looked over, he said, you know good damn well you don't need no fucking bitch. Don't start it up in here, Wody. Oh shit. Now the night is going okay, but of course Rome is there to just fuck it up as usual. He coming in there, throwing around his weight, trying to act like he the big dog, you know, always down in Wody, saying how Wody wouldn't even have him in a nice ass suite, you know, that he would have put their ass up in a Motel 8 at best. And Teak was tired of hearing that shit. He was like, nigga, fuck you and your handouts. Like, I don't need it. And then Rome gonna look at him and say, oh yeah, nigga, cause you need a prison cot, right? That's what you used to sleeping on. I was just like, see, yeah, those kind of assholes usually don't last, okay? And boy, do I mean that literally. Anyway, Teak I thought was gonna beat Rome's ass, but you know, he walk away like, fuck this. All right, I ain't got to deal with this shit and this nigga handouts. I'm going to go lay my ass in the hearse. You know, they was like, no. Because I guess Rome was like, y'all ain't getting shit from me now. I got all these fucking sweets and shit. You know, Wody wouldn't have done that. So anyway, Murder go off after Teak, and Rome tell Mississippi, like, when you finish with these broke ass niggas around here, then you know what, you come up, you know where to find me, because they still got to go over to Jocelyn's suite, remember? So he leaves, and it's just her and Wody in there. So Wody is kind of looking up at her. I was just like, what is this? I mean, we might somewhere along the line we might get a Wody and Mississippi connection. I'm not really sure, but Wody looks up at her. You know, she still wears the necklace that Diamond gave her, because at some point she does actually like hold on to it for strength when some other shit had happened, I guess. So, you know, Diamond is still kind of maybe in the background a little bit, even though he's so tied up with Big Bone, child. I don't know how that's gonna go. But when Wody was looking up at her and he was like, and she was like, what? Like, why are you looking at me like that? And he was like, I don't like your hair. And she was just like, nigga, what the fuck? You don't like my hair? And he was just like, no, I mean, I just prefer, you know, the hair that grew out your head, or at least the hair that looked like it grew out your head. Okay. And you know, he just was looking at her like, this nigga here, you fucking around with Rome. Okay. He trying to turn you into a typical stripper. And that's what that's what he's thinking. I'm not saying down and stripping, because, honey, obviously it is a profession out there, okay, and everybody can't do it. But he was just like, you looking like one of these other girls when really you had something special, okay? So he just kind of was a little disappointed in it, like, you know, Mississippi is getting wrapped up in everything. So anyway, because she's going to go get the keys from Rome, she's trying to smooth everything out with Rome, plus they got to go see Jocelyn and everything, she goes up to Rome's room. Okay, so she's all like, come on, let's go. And he was like, in a Versace's robe. Nigga, why you ain't got no clothes on? That's the first thing that I'm thinking. Keyshawn ain't even thinking about it. He tell her that the wig deal looked like it might fall through. And she's just like, fuck, like, damn, you know, I really wanted this wig deal. Okay, he said, that's okay, because I got something better. And he go in the other room and he come back with a fucking stripper heel that got the rhinestones and shit on the platform part at the bottom. And she was looking at it like, a stripper heel? And he was like, yeah, you know, you like them? Those are nice. You know, he's going on and on about it. And she was just like, I really kind of wanted the wig deal. Like, everybody wears a wig. You know, it's not just limited to, people ain't walking around in stripper heels, is what she was trying to say. She'd make more with the wig deal. That would make her more universal, you know. But he was just like, no, this is where it's at right here. You know, put them on. You know, how they feel. Them nice, huh? Them nice, huh? I was just like, okay. I mean, the For Real pimp has come out for real on Rome this week, right? I mean, he's always had it in him, but I mean, it's just sort of like he don't care. I guess he's, with all the money that they make every day, you know, he getting bigger and bigger in the head. So again, she's being told what to do. Don't really feel this whole stripper shoe line, but okay, I guess Rome is a means to an end. She's trying to make her money. Like, okay. So she goes and gets dressed so that they can go to Jocelyn's suite, right? So she has on her stripper outfit, rhinestones, real pretty, has on the damn shoes. It's time to go, and this nigga still got his Versace robe on. Okay, he come in the room kind of looking at her like, oh, you know, just old creepy ass, predatory, you know, just the worst. And his robe is open. She was just like, Rome, like, close your robe. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, that you know, that was on accident. You know, but he ain't making no moves, no strides to close this robe. And of course, we know where this story is about to go. Okay, she been trusting him all this time, and now this nigga is about to make his move. All right, when she tells him to put some clothes on and that she kind of denies his advances and shit, of course he gets upset. You not gonna dance for me, you not gonna do shit for me, you do it for every fucking body else. And she was like, honey, I am selling a dream, okay? I'm making shit shine. I'm making people think that they are in charge. I'm making people think that they're in control, when really I'm in control. I'm the motherfucker that makes them come back every week, okay? They paying me So I'm controlling this right here. And of course he getting mad, like, bitch, this the way you treat me after all I done for you, putting money in your pocket, feeding your kids, putting food on your table. So of course it goes extremely left, and he grabs her and pulls her shirt down, one titty out, you know, throws her on the bed. I said, I know you're not about to rape this girl. I know you're not fixing to fuck up your money even like that. Can you have some fucking self-control? But of course you can't, because he's an idiot and he's a damn predator and just horrible. So he's trying to rape her, but of course she fights him off, okay, hits him a few times, and she gets away. Then she runs for her fucking life and runs down to Wodie's room. Now let's jump back to the past, because when else has this happened to Keyshawn? Well, we know it's probably happened to her a whole bunch of times, but when was the first time that it happened? Okay, she was pregnant with Derek. Clearly, they ain't got no money, okay? They in an apartment. She complaining. Big stomach. 8 months pregnant. And her and Derek are not the happy-go-lucky and in-love couple that they were when they was at Chucalissa High School. Apparently, Derek has been shunned by the family because he hooked up with Keyshawn. The mama, of course, didn't want him to be with her. Told him that she was a gold digger. And, you know, he was just like, I knew my mama was right. I shouldn't have hooked up with you. You know, you a gold digger. And she was just like, your mama done heard too many fucking Kanye West songs. Now, all of a sudden, she want to call somebody a goddamn gold digger. Okay? Anyway, he was like, you tricked me, you know, and you caught with me for my money. And she was just like, nigga, what is your family don't even do nothing for us? What are you talking about? I'm the one take care of us. I'm the one working at Walgreens, big ass pregnant stomach. I'm the one that's feeding us, paying the goddamn bills around here. Okay, so she tell him all that, and you know, most men don't want to hear that, even on a good day. Like, so when shit is real tense and high like this, I was like, Keyshawn, girl, hold on. You know where he come from. You seen him beat the hell out that boy at your school. Like, let's roll it back a little bit. But, you know, she's going on, and Henny, he just run up to her, and he grab her by the neck and choke her out real fast. And he was just like, I knew I shouldn't have fucked with you. I shouldn't have been with you. You know, he blaming her for all of the problems that he had. It chokes her out pretty good. He tells her that he was trapped. And you know what? Like Uncle Clifford said, a little bit of Keyshawn died that night. Okay? So give you a little reference of why Keyshawn is used to this kind of shit. But taking it back to the present. So she gets away from Rome, runs her ass down the hall, bangs on Wodie's door. Okay, now she only got this little stripper outfit on, no shoes, titty out on one side. You know, he opened the door and she was just like, Wodie. He was, I'm so stupid. And he was like, what happened? Okay, so she tells him, Rome tried to fuck me. I know he tried to rape you. Okay. But she was just like, you know, I'm so stupid, and I'm sitting there and listening to him, and he doing all of this. She's down in herself. Wodie is trying to tell her, like, it's not your fault, don't worry about it, you know. And then she was just like, oh, I forgot to tell you guys that in the exchange that Mississippi and Rome had, he knew about Murder. He was like, I know you and Murder trying to pull off this facade, basically acting like you guys are hooked up together, but he know that Murder don't like her like that. When she kissed him, he could tell he didn't like that shit. Him and Tika probably booty buddies. Okay, then he pulled out the video and he was like, that's right. You know, I guess he had a room in the hotel room that they were staying in. I mean, it had a camera in there, because he had, I'm assuming that's the video. That's the only time that those two have been intimate, you know. So he has this video and he was like, he's a F word, right? And so she's looking like, oh shit, this the wrong nigga that need to know the secret. So anyway, she's telling Wodie like he knows everything, and Wodie was like, he knows what though? And she was just like, everything, he has a video. Okay, so Wodie is thinking in his mind like, oh shit, like this nigga already been tripping this whole time. Wodie don't really like him all that much. I mean, you know, we deal with him because they need Mississippi on this damn trip. But Murder, we think, is going to have a promising future. And you mean to tell me that Rome is about to fuck up my shit because he want to give off Murder's secret? On top of that, Murder and Wodie are old friends from you, because Wodie been knowing, remember, and Wodie never gave the secret out. So they are old friends. All of this is probably going on in Wodie's mind, right? So Keyshawn, she's upset. I want to go home, you know, and Wodie is like, well, we still got this other leg. She was, I don't care. Okay, I done did enough with this. She don't feel like fucking with Rome no more. I'm going home. Okay, so then fucked up the second half and the money on everybody's end. Jumping back to the past. after Derek strangles her, chokes her out, she don't have nowhere to go. She goes back to her stepmother's house. Daddy not there again. Okay, but she opens the door, the stepmama, and here goes Mississippi, 8 months pregnant, you know, needing the help. Like, I don't have anywhere else to go. And the stepmom was just like, oh well, like, I'm sorry, but you know, you made the choices that you make. You make up your bed, you lay in it, you know, and I can't have your kind around my daughters, as if her daughters, I mean, your daughter, somebody wrote that the bitch was sucking dick on the wall at school. So, I mean, what your daughter doing too? She just smart enough not to get pregnant so far, right? But anyway, the mama was basically like, no, you got to go back home, okay? So what does Keyshawn do? She has to go back home. She's pregnant. She needs to sit her ass down somewhere, right? She goes back home and she goes in the room and there's flowers everywhere, just beautiful flowers everywhere. And then Derek comes behind her and tells her how he's so sorry and he'll never do it again. Famous last words. Okay, fast forward how many kids they got and he's still beating her ass. Yeah, he's crying and he's so sorry right now, but that's usually how it starts. Back at the present, Keyshawn has left the damn tour. She's back home. She hears Derek in there with the kids, you know, loving father talk. And, you know, she walks in and he's like, hey, baby, you know, he gives her a kiss. He's so happy to see her. Like, what you doing home already? You know, Rome told me that you was going to be 2 more weeks. And she was like, no, I just, you know, we got to work out some things with the schedule and everything. So we just decided to come on back home. So she sits down with her older baby and she's trying to play with him and he's crying. And she looks over at Derek like, why is he crying so much? He's like, oh, you know, maybe he fussy, you know, whatever. He doesn't admit to anything, but we already know what this is about to be. So she takes her little boy to the doctor. And while the doctor is there, he has a dislocated elbow. Okay, so I guess they get it back popped into place or whatever. But while they're checking the baby, they also see that he's bruised here. Now, why she ain't seen that? I mean, I don't know if it was just me, but I was just like, shit, I had kids and I was always checking them damn kids. You know, you got to make sure because you just don't never know. Anyway, the baby is all bruised back here. And, you know, they notice it. The doctors notice it. This is the one thing about the show, this episode where I was like, this is not realistic. Because when Keyshawn went back home, I was like, absolutely no way. They would not have let her leave that hospital with that baby. They would have, children's services would have been called. They would have took that baby. Okay, they would have had some interviews with the parents to figure out what the fuck is going on over there. Why this little boy got all these bruises and shit, arm broken or whatever. Like, there's no way. They would not have released a child to her. So I was trying to figure out, like, how is this even working here? But I mean, it's a TV show, so okay. But she gets home and she has the baby and you know, Derek is there, and so she puts the baby in a room, closes the door, and then she goes up to him and she was like, you haven't even asked me what happened at the doctor's office. And he was like, what happened at the doctor's office? She was like, he had a dislocated elbow. Okay, you dislocated his elbow, you fucked up, you know, you bruised him and all of that. You will not beat my kids. You can beat me all you want, but you cannot beat my kids. Okay, well, Derek doesn't take to this so kindly. He's like, the fucking kids is driving me crazy and you haven't been here, which I was just like, yeah, Mississippi, I mean, I know you got to do what you got to do, but this motherfucker could kill your baby while you gone. Like, I was always leery about her leaving him, you know, leaving those kids with him anyway, you know. But he was just like, he cried all the time and, you know, I'm tired and blah, blah, blah. You know, and she was just like, you cannot do that shit. You will not do that to our kids. He was like, they're my fucking kids too. I mean, he ain't tried to deny it or nothing. Baby all fucking bruised up right here. And all. So they get into an argument. He was like, I gotta go. Okay. And she was like, why you gotta go? He got a job interview. She was like, it don't matter. You ain't getting that shit anyway. Okay. She's so frustrated. She tell him, I'm gonna continue to take care of my 3 kids. Okay, the 2 babies I got and your grown ass. Well, why she say that, child? He reared back and hit her in the face, knock her down, okay, and then he take her by her hair and drag her down the hallway, all right, and he beating her ass and all of that, and I was just like, it is so difficult to understand the battered woman syndrome. I realize that, you know, especially when it's a woman that makes the money. You don't even need them financially, which is a lot of the reason why people stay is because they cannot afford to go. So it's easier. It's never easy to understand why people stay, period. But it's easier to understand when people don't have the money or the means to get away. It's even harder to understand when somebody is the financial provider in the family and still can't go. Okay. I'm sure she's afraid because this motherfucker look crazy and probably will follow her wherever she goes, you know, to get to her. So I'm sure fear plays a huge part. But bitch, she gonna kill you in that damn house, you know. But a lot of times you can't get that through to the person when they are living in it and fully in it. You know, they can't see anything else. Like, you know, they're terrified, they tired, they beat down, their self-esteem is gone, all of that, you know. So it just made me feel sad for people that go through this. Because this is like, I know I wasn't the only one screaming at the TV like, girl, leave his motherfucking ass. You don't need him. But you know, it's deeper than that. And I realize that. They get into this big ass fight. He him her up against the wall. He about to put the iron on his face, on her face. And she was like, anywhere but my face, anywhere but my face, you know. And it finally, you know, they struggle enough with the iron and shit that it finally must click. And there's that, am I really about to iron this woman's face? Like, you know. But he tell her like, I do what the fuck I want with my kids. Don't come to me with the bullshit, okay? So, yeah, it was a sad scene for Mississippi. But lastly, you guys, the scene that was the best of this season, I believe, or one of the best, because we've had a couple of really memorable scenes, but this scene was the one, child. So anyway, back at the suites, okay? Now, Mississippi done left, and she done told Wody what happened, right? So they at this suite. And, you know, Rome got a big ass party there. All the people is there. You know, I'm sure it's drinking. I'm sure it's drugs there, whatever. Wody come in there and, you know, he tell Rome he want to talk to him, you know, talk shop real fast. And Rome was like, absolutely, absolutely, come in. You know, y'all get out the room. You know, me and my boy, we got to talk business here. Okay. So Wody sit down with Rome and he give him a little vial. And, you know, Rome was like, thank you. You know, he split it up and chop it up or whatever and put the lines together. And then he about to start. Then he look over at Wody and he was just like, how about you go first? Okay. Wody was like, absolutely. Okay. So he goes and he do one line. Okay. I was like, Wody, you gonna be all right? Because I already know what's fixing to happen here. Anyway, once Wody hit that line or whatever, Rome was like, we all good. So it's about 8 more lines left there. And of course, this nigga being a drug head the way he is, Wody already know he about to clear them lines. So he does. All right. So then we sitting there and we talking like, what we gonna do that now that Mississippi is gone? And Rome was like, that bitch is a dime a dozen. I can get somebody else like her, you know, on the damn tour, like immediately. As far as he concerned, she better be glad he even brought her black ass on this tour. Okay, Wody was like, what about murder? Like they was a team. And while Rome is sitting there talking to Wody, he can't even really get his words out good because this nigga get to coughing like, oh shit, excuse me, hold on, wait a minute. Wody is kind of looking over at him like, yeah, them lines is hitting, right? Rome is clearly tweaking and Wody is looking at him and he finally sit back. He said, let me ask you something, Rome. Have you ever seen a man die? You know, Rome, of course I seen somebody, you know. I think Rome starts realizing what's going on. Like, motherfucker, like, shit, what's going on? Like, did you really, you know? So Wody still sitting back kind of looking at him. He was just like, you ain't feeling so good, is you? No, Rome is not, to tell you the truth. Wody get to ask him about the video. What about the movie? And Rome was like, what movie? And he was like, Keyshawn already told me about the movie with everything. Like, what about that? Okay, yeah, that's when the realization really, now Rome knows what's going on. But the poor man can't even talk, honey. And Wody, with his, you know, he works in a funeral home, right? Okay, so he has that soothing funeral home manner going on. He was leading him over to the other side, basically. But then he show him the bottle he gave him, like, yeah, nigga, this is what you got in your system right now. And it say fentanyl on there. Still don't know how Wody was able to get one line off, but he works in a funeral home. He's obviously familiar with some of these things, and we won't ask too many questions. We just know that Wody is all right. Rome isn't. And Wody look at him, and he was like, night, night, nigga. I was like, that was a fucking great scene. That was a great scene, honey. That damn Rome fall over, and Wody just get up like, my job is done, all right? And when he walk out, the people go in there, they see him on the floor, say, oh my God, call the ambulance. Is he all right? Call the ambulance. You know, Wody just kind of smiling like, okay. And he walk out the room, and we ain't got to deal with Rome no more. It was clear that it was drugs and shit at the party. So, I mean, I guess you could just say he had a bad, you know, he had some bad shit. And hopefully Wody won't get tied to this. Reality, he would, but it's a show. That's it. Let me get off of here. Like I said, I am still enjoying the show. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but I'm just still trying to figure things out. Y'all let me know. Excuse me. Let me know what you think about it. Definitely that closer was it for me. That swung me all the way back around to like, okay, yes, this is my show. I wasn't sure at some points in the episode, but yeah, y'all let me know what you think. Anyway, I got to get back to work. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.